talk about division. Okay, division is a hard concept for some of our little people to get, so practice is where the key is. Okay, so getting them to do it over and over in different ways. You can give them 100 problems in front of them. They're going to get tired of working it out on paper and pencil and worksheet after worksheet. So the best way that I have found is to bring manipulatives into the classroom, at your house, whatever. Dollar at the Dollar Tree. You can get lots of them. You can order them online. I mean, dice are not that expensive. You can make your own dice. Okay, so if you can get some dice manipulatives to put in their hands, it just gives them another way to look at division. Okay, in the classroom, I would always have something for them to look at. You can have papers with the things on it. Not my favorite. I like for them to be able to do it. I like to use whiteboards a lot, and I would have the division up here. Now, I also do anchor charts a lot in my classroom, and I would have an anchor chart visible for them to see. So as they're working through these division problems, that they can see the steps that they need to take just in case they forget. Our little ones tend to forget all of these steps that they have to take as they're learning all of these new math terms. Okay, so for a while, having that visual somewhere in your classroom is really nice. So when they are struggling, they can look and try to figure out what step they're missing, and it builds their self-confidence because when they do get the answer, then they're like, yes. Okay, so that's just a strategy to use. This particular way of doing it, you can do it in groups of 2. You can do it in a center in your classroom. You can even do it individually. If you have enough dice to do that, you can do this individually, which is perfectly fine. I have found that sometimes partnering my students up together helps some of those struggling learners, because if they're maybe not so good at the division part, they could be really good at the multiplication part. And when you have 2, brains are always better than 1. So it's nice for them to be able to talk through it. If they don't have anybody to talk to, if they get stuck, then their hands go up, and if you are helping somebody, then they kind of get stuck, and then you have several kids raising their hand. But if they do have that person to talk to, then they can sometimes work through the problem and work right through it, and it comes a little easier to them. So I always say practice doesn't make perfect, but it does make better. So practice is always key in math. So even if you're sitting at home, this is a great technique to work with your child. Have siblings do it together. You can work with them. So it's just something great to have. So like I said, you'll need dice, a whiteboard, something super simple. Okay, so my key is, and sometimes I use more than 2 dice just because I want my number that is up here to be a little higher. So I like to use bigger dice or more dice. So I would just roll those dice. Okay, so I'm going to get the number, let's see, I have a 6, a 4, and a 2. Okay, so these are the numbers that I rolled, and it doesn't matter what order you put them in whatever order that you want to. It just, the dice are there, for, like I said, for that manipulative, something else in their hands. Okay, you can still use the dice in the cups, you can use whatever kind of dice you want, but like I said, just something extra. So these are the numbers that I rolled. Okay, so then I'm just going to take 1 dice, you can let the other partner do it, and I got a 2. Okay, so 2. Now, it doesn't matter, well, it does matter. Whenever they're starting out, I would only have them roll 1 to 2 dice. Instead, I would do 4 for the big number and 1 or 2 for the smaller number that they're going to divide by. Okay, just to give them some, so they have more to do. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is you have to figure out what goes where. Now, this is what you're dividing by. You have a 2. Now, there are multiple steps in this division problem. Okay, so you need to remember that once you have completed that set, you start over and you go again. Okay, so for my first thing I have to do is I have to see how many times 2 will go into 6. Okay, How many times does it go in evenly? So if I'm a younger learner, I'm probably going to use my fingers, but I automatically know that 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2, 4, 6, 3 times. Okay, so I'm going to take that 3 and put it right above this 6. Okay, that's step 1. So it's divide, multiply. Step 2. 3 times 2 gives me what? 6. Okay? Divide, multiply, subtract. And then I'm going to subtract. 6 minus 6 gives me 0. Okay? I can't do anything with the 0, so I'm going to go to this very next number, and I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to put an arrow to show I am bringing it down, because as I get down here, my numbers could get a little mixed up, especially if they're struggling with handwriting. This just tries to help me keep it straight so I can see, okay, I've already brought this 6 down. Okay, so done. That's 4 steps. Those 4 steps are over. I start over. Times does 2 go into 6. 3. Above that 6, multiply. 3 times 2 gives me 6 again. Subtract. There's that 0. Now I'm going to bring down that 4. Okay? See my arrow that brings it down? It shows that I'm bringing it down. Okay? So I've brought it down. Now 2 goes into 4 2 times. That 2 is going to go up here. 2 times 2 gives you 4. Okay? You're then going to subtract. 4 minus 4 gives you 0. Okay? I'm going to bring down this 2. Uh-oh, I'm running out of room. 2 goes into 2 1 time. 1 times 2 gives me 2. I'm going to subtract that 2 minus 2. It's going to give me 0. I don't have anything else to bring down, which means I'm done. So 2 cannot go into 0. I've zeroed out down here, which means my division problem is done. My answer is 3,321. Okay? Now, remember, whenever you are doing a division problem, there are 4 main steps, and they have to go in order. Okay? Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Okay? So let's do, you know what, let's do, because this was with the dice. That was a tutorial with the dice. So if you are just doing division, okay, let me do something a little smaller just so you can see the steps. If you're a beginner learner, this may help you. Okay, let's do 3, and let's do 99. Okay, so 3 divided by 99. Okay, so first step, divide. I'm looking at how many times 3 will go into that first number. 3, 6, 9. It goes 3 times. So my 3 would go right above that 9. Okay, first step done. Second step, multiply. You are going to multiply. 3 times 3 gives you 9. Okay, now you have to subtract. Third step. 9 minus 9 gives me 0. Fourth step, bring down. That's where that 9 comes back. Those are my 4 steps, so I start back over with divide. 3 goes into 9, 3 times. Second step, 3 times 3 gives me 9. Third step, 9 minus 9 gives me 0. Fourth step, bring down. There's nothing left to bring down, and I already have a 0, so I'm done. My answer is 33. Okay, just to clear up what the steps are in these division problems. Okay, now whenever you go back to your dice, like I said, it can be as simple or complex as you want it and make it your own. Shake it up. If you want to have 6 dice, have 6 dice. Start with 3 dice, okay, and build on those. So like I said, you're going to roll your dice. You are going to have some kind of visual in the classroom, even if it's on the whiteboard that you just did. If you're at home, I would do this with them for the first time, maybe on paper, and I would leave it there for them just so they can go back and be like, okay, how did they get this number, and see if they can work it out, okay? So again, you are going to have your division, and let's see, I have 6632 is what I'm going to do. Now, I always like to make my number as big as I can because it makes the mark just a little bit harder. Okay, then you're going to roll, I'm going to roll 2 dice, and it's 16. Okay, that's how we set it up, and they're going to continue to work it. Okay, if they're struggling, you know what? I always say struggling makes for better mathematicians. Okay, if they have to struggle just a little to work through a problem, even if they have to give help, it's going to make them stronger in the end because they're going to remember how they messed up and what they had to do to fix it. Okay, so don't get frustrated if you're not getting it right away. Okay, I was horrible at math when I was little, but that's okay. I did get better, but with practice. Okay, it doesn't come just by sitting there and not trying. So you have to put forth the effort. So hopefully this gives you an idea to bring into your classroom with some division, with some manipulatives that you can use in your classroom or even at home. Either way, they're getting the practice and they're getting their hands on something and getting their brains moving with some division. They're not going to get it right away. Division is a hard concept to get, so parents don't get frustrated either. Okay, so I hope this helps. If not, leave in the comments what you would like to see, and I will try to get your help coming your way. Happy teaching, guys. Bye.